Good morning. We are live. Welcome. Oops, I've got volume on. That's bad. Okay, there we go. I don't want to listen to myself. It's bad enough you guys got to listen to me. Okay, let's see. Comments. There we go. Shelby's here. Perfect. All right, we'll give everyone a minute or two to roll in. I'm just going to go get myself a drink while that happens because I forgot to pour one. Oops, sorry about that. I just know I get talking and I need a drink. Good thing my office is right off of the kitchen, so it's easy to go and grab something. Good morning, everyone. We are rolling in on a Monday morning, a gloomy one at that. Did everyone have a busy weekend? I did. Well, kind of busy, but kind of low-key at the same time. I was busy at home, which is where I like to be. We had our granddaughter's second birthday party on Saturday, so that was fun. I can't believe she's 2. But it was very fun. Good morning, everybody. All right, so you are tuning in for the November calendar launch party. It gets very confusing for me because I'm already thinking about the January page. No, sorry, the December page that will come out in January. And this is the November page that comes out in December. So when I make typos in the emails about what month the live is on, you have to forgive me because it gets very confusing. Ooh, a 4-day crop. Well, that's nice. I don't think I could scrapbook for 4 days straight. I get antsy. Okay, so we're going to get started. And yes, this is the November page being released December 9th. We had to wait to get through all of the Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday stuff. We had a very, very, very busy weekend last weekend, and we needed a bit of time to kind of recuperate from that. And you may have noticed that we didn't do anything special this weekend at our store, virtually through emails or anything. We needed a break. We needed to just stop and take a breath so we could be ready for the last 2 weeks before Christmas. So we took a much needed break and got caught up on some things at home and with our families, and now we are ready to go again. So we had a quiet weekend. Last week was crazy. We anticipate this week being very crazy as well. But that's why I kind of delayed the launch of the calendar until today. So here we go. Are you guys ready? So you'll notice it's kind of a fall themed layout. November is a funny month. I find March and November are tricky months if you're doing sort of like seasonal scrapbooking because they're nothing months. It's not really winter. It's not really fall. It's not really Christmas. It's just nothing. And when I came across this collection called Sweater Weather, I thought, that's a perfect explanation of what November is. It's a transition from the beautiful fall weather that we had into the winter weather. And it just makes you think of all things cozy. Like Shelby just said, she made muffins and soup. So I've been doing a lot of that too. And so I looked at my pictures I do last year's photos. And I just thought it's just a real variety of stuff. I had some pictures with snow in them. I had some pictures where we were just outside with fall leaves. I had just a bunch of stuff. So I thought, you know what? Sweater weather is a perfect way to describe this month. So I thought this collection was really fitting. So this is what we're using. So your bundle will include your photo for reference. You will get a QR code on your bag that will bring you right back to this video. So that when you sit down and are ready to put it together, then everything you need will be right here. And then you get a 12 by 12 sticker sheet. You get a sheet of white cardstock. You get this beautiful plaid paper. And then this Color Vibe cardstock in avocado. So Diane is saying March has St. Patrick's Day. It does, but not very many people celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So to do a whole themed thing on St. Patrick's Day would be kind of tricky. And sometimes Easter is in March, but it's just kind of a funny month. So anyways, this is your bundle. And like I said, bundles come with the photo and the QR code, so you can get some assistance putting your layouts back together. Now, the bundles are not up online until after my live is finished, along with some of the add-ons. We have held them back just so that regular customers don't start shopping from all of those fun things. So I'm going to set the bundle aside and I'll show you the layout, and then we will go from there. So let me just put that there. I had a ton of fun putting this one together. I say that every month, I know. I just got to make sure that I'm going to be centered here on my screen and you'll be able to see everything. Looks pretty good. I'll slide this way a little bit. So this is the November page, and you will see just by looking at my photos that we have a real mishmash of stuff. So the photo I put over here on the layout is a collaged picture. Again, November is a month for me where I take a snapshot here and a snapshot there. I don't really have a lot of photos that all go together because there's just not a lot going on. So, but what I noticed was here we're starting to go to hockey games again quite regularly. Jason is in full Movember swing, and actually this was the year that he shattered his kneecap, and we switched up the promotion as a fundraiser for him. So here he is with the Misty doing that, and I thought I had another picture of him somewhere. No, he didn't make the page, where he's got all the die cuts and everything all spread out. Yes, and then, yes, so the boys over here, the littles had mustache day, the last day of November at school. So they made the mustaches, which are super fun. Livy's here in the snow. We went to the movies. My youngest son started playing hockey for a work team. So he sent me that picture. So it's just kind of a mishmash of photos, but it does work really well. And I loved the titles that were on the sticker sheet. So Sweater Weather was one. A Season of Change was another one. Now they did have a sticker that I didn't use called Happy Fall Y'all, because I wasn't really celebrating fall per se with this layout, although the decorations or embellishments are all kind of fall themed, but it is still officially fall right now. So, so it does work. Now this month I had fun playing with some stamp sets with my layout as well. And that is completely optional for you guys. I've said many times over the course of this calendar journey that I am going to be bringing in stamps and dies and stencils and things from the card making side of this industry and pulling them in to scrapbooking. And I really don't want to hold myself back. These layouts go in my own personal album. So I really like to make them mine. And our philosophy is if you can create the layout and leave those elements off and still have a completed page, then it's okay. So in other words, if you choose not to add the stamps and dies on this particular layout, your layout will still look complete. It won't look exactly like mine. It won't be quite as full as mine, but you can definitely make it work. So I will point out all of those details as we go through the page, but this is the layout side and the calendar side of the bundle. And yeah, so I'll walk you through all of the placement and measurements in just a few minutes. What I am going to do is run through the add-ons so that you know what is extra. So I'll just set this aside and I'll grab my list out here. So to start, The die cut alphabet that we use for the title on, yeah, it's your crafting journey. That's our saying now. We always say, well, it's your crafting journey. You can do what you want. Yeah, so that's kind of a joke. Okay, so this is the little bag of die cuts that do the November month. And the colors that are featured in there, we've also added into the add-on section for shopping, because I actually matte my photo over on this side here, but that's optional. You don't have to matte your photo if you don't want to. So if you do want to, there is a piece of avocado that will be left over when we do the cutting. So we're going to cut the center out. So if you want the avocado, that's not a problem. I put an extra layer of craft in there, so that would be something that you would add on. But you may choose to pull in other colors for your photos as well. On the calendar side of my layout, I never matte the photos. I just sand the edges of them and leave them like they are. But lots of people like to put colored matting behind their pictures. So we thought we would include the cardstock colors that we used in the title for you to purchase if you want to. So these are all Color Vibe cardstock, which is our absolute favorite. It is solid on one side, and then it has a dot on the other, and the dot's quite subtle. So it does give you a bit of pattern if you want to, but it can be just solid. And this is a white core cardstock. So in other words, when you cut through this, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, you will see that there's white in the center. The color doesn't run all the way through. And that can be kind of great because if you use this with your embossing folders and you sand, then you'll expose that core color, which is really fun. Also, if you put this behind your photos and you sand the edges of this, it'll give you a bit of a white edge, which is kind of cool too. So you can do a lot of fun things with this, but the colors are spectacular. So we have avocado, we have mustard, we have terracotta, and we've got cranberry. And Shelby, usually I give her this information during the live, but she was proactive and she put all those colors into the add-on section on our online store for the calendar. If you look under November, you will see all of these colors listed there, so you can purchase them if you want to. So those are one thing. And like I said, if you want to do a sheet of craft cardstock, the craft works very well with this color combination as well. And I did add craft in the matting that I did on the layout side. So if you don't have any craft in your stash, you will want to grab that. And then the other thing is, if you are doing the calendar side of the layout, which is this part here, we don't include this in the bundle because not everybody does this. So we don't want to include it and have it just, you know, as a wasted piece of paper for people. So if you want to purchase these calendar pages, they are available for sale in the add-on section, and you just buy them individually. So you can add that to your cart as well if you want to do the calendar side. I think it's fabulous. I think it's a great way to organize your album. Even if you're an avid scrapbooker and you want to do pages other than the calendar layouts, those can be slipped in between. And you know what? I haven't shown my album in a while. I'm just going to pull it over here just so you can see what we're talking about when we do this. Ugh. Okay, well, there's a page that I was going to slip in there somewhere, but okay, so here's the January layout. Almost a full year ago, we completed this page. And then, so if I had more photos in January that I wanted to do, before I put my February layout in, I could put those layouts in. But if you don't do any other scrapbooking for the whole year, which is me, then by the end of the year, you have a completed album that has sort of, you know, your main event for each month. You could put a series of events over here, and then just a little snapshot of what happens throughout your month each year, which I really love. And yeah, it's just so fun to go back and look at it. So by the time we do our December page in January, I will have 2 complete years of scrapbooking. I've never had 2 complete years of anything. So even when we were doing planner, maybe the first year, it's me too. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm reading comments while I'm trying to talk. So when we did planner, I think the first year, like when I was designing it, I got a lot done because I had to have it done. But then when I handed it over to Amanda, I didn't do any. Like it's too busy. And so this really scaled things down for me. And I just love every single page that's in my book. October's is still at the store, which by the way, if you didn't pick up October's page, there are just a handful left. Shelby just added a few more to the online store this morning. So if you want the October page, it's gone. Like it's going to disappear very quick. We don't have these pages sitting around for the whole year for you to go back and grab. So you need to get on it if you want to get that October page. So this is November. And now I will walk you through the add-ons. So we did all the papers. Okay, so then this is something I use pretty much every month is the Walnut Stain Distress Ink. And this type of an applicator. This month I did do a lot of inking on the papers just to give it a little bit of distressing. I'll just hold this up really close. You can see on the white on the edge there that there's a little bit of that brown ink. It just sort of softens everything and just gives it a little bit of texture, which I really like. It never focuses where I want it to focus. So I'll just put my hand there so you can see. Yes, perfect. So, so I really like doing that. So the Walnut Stain is my favorite ink to do that with. And then a sanding block is another thing that I pretty much use every time I scrapbook. And that is to sand the edges of my photos. It's probably easier to show you on here. So you can see the edges of the pictures have a white edge to them. And that's because I sand them with the sanding block to just sort of define them. And they just look super good. So definitely a sanding block. The T-ruler is a must for me if I have any hope at all of getting this title straight. I know there's a line there, but it never fails. So that T-ruler, you can put it right up next to the edge of your paper, and then you have this edge that will be perfectly straight and easy for you to use. So definitely recommend the T-ruler. What else do I have on here? The clear drops that I used for embellishing right here. I believe we just got a shipment back in stock. We cannot hardly keep these in stock. They're very, very popular. Mine are in a case, so I have to bring my case over to show you. So it is this, these are the Champagne Clear Drops from Pink Fresh. So I use those a lot. Any kind of neutral embellishment would work really good, but I particularly like that champagne color. It is kind of in the gold family, but it's toned down, and with all of the golds and stuff in the papers and stickers and stuff, it works very, very nicely with that. I also splattered in gold. I'm going to hold this up nice and close. It's a very nice shimmery gold, and we have a couple of options for you with that. I don't know if you can see, but my splattering is all throughout the layout in the background there. If I tip it side to side, I'm seeing the nice shimmer, but I don't know if the camera will pick that up. But you have a couple of options. So we carry the Winsor & Newton, oh, that's silver, not gold. The Winsor & Newton ink, which I know we are very low on. We might even be sold out now. I do have an order in with our supplier, but it's en route to us, and it did not make it in time. So it's on the way though. So keep your eye open for this if it's something that you want to have in your stash. The other thing that is really great is the, I always say this wrong, Yasutomo. And these little palettes of ink are really great too, because the ink you have to actually get out of this dispenser in order to get your brush in it. So I usually use like a little eyedropper and drop it onto my glass mat. Actually, I don't even splatter in my room anymore, because no matter how hard I try to keep it into my splatter box, it goes everywhere. I usually go up to the garage. But anyways, I put it on a little non-porous surface and I put a drop there and then I splatter. This is nice because you can work right off of your palette, and we have two different shades of gold. Both will work fine for this layout, and anytime that you use gold, they'll be great. So either of these products are excellent for the gold splatter. So you can check those out. And just watch our website if for some reason they are sold out and you don't get it and you want it, because we always stock them. So we'll always be restocking those. I did use the fan brush for my splattering this month. The fan brush gives you a very, very nice fine splatter as opposed to a nice big chunky one. And there's times when I want a chunky splatter and times when I want a fine splatter. So I really, really love the fan brush and the effect that I get with that. So if you don't have a fan brush in your stash, it's a great little option to have. And then needles for stitching, a piercing mat, and a piercing tool. Now I will talk to you about the stitching. You can definitely leave it off if stitching is not your thing. And there is a lot of it on here. So here's my piercing mat and here's my piercing tool. Oops, that's my craft knife. I always do that. This is my piercing tool. So the piercing tool is just a poker tool. It's pointy on the end and it allows you to pierce the holes. And this is like a foam mat that allows you to pierce into it. You can't pierce into a hard desk. So you need something that you can pierce into. This is a really, really old one. They don't even make this one anymore, but we do have one that is similar. So if you're looking for something like that. And I did do quite a bit of stitching. When I first did the layout, I put the plaid paper down in the background and I kind of was arranging things and whatever. And I kept looking at it and looking at it. And I'm like, you know, I really want to stitch on this. So I took everything off and I stitched. And I stitched on all of the thicker bars of color that are on the background. So I'll just hold that up a little bit so you can see. To me, stitching is very relaxing. I love the extra detail that it gives to your layout. Lots of texture and it's really, really eye appealing. I will show you the back of my paper so you can see that there is quite a bit of stitching on this one. In my opinion, well worth it. Couple nights in front of the TV and you will be done. And you'll be thrilled with the result. So that is just a basic back stitch that you do. You basically come up one hole, go down the next, come up the next hole, and then go back, and then up the next one and back, up the next one and back. It's very, very easy to do. You could just do a quick Google search on how to do a back stitch and you're going to get some great videos on how to do that. I've shown them in previous calendar videos as well. And I just love, love, love the way that it looks. Now you'll notice that I'm using quite a bit of colored floss. Now we've brought in a line of floss from Waffle Flower. And we have the colors, the specific colors that I used in individual skeins for you to purchase. Now these skeins, when you pull the floss off, it has 6 strands. And I separated it and only used 3 strands for each row of stitching that I did. So it takes the floss from being bulky to less bulky. So you can go down to 1 strand if you want to, but you want to make sure that you're doing very tiny holes then. The fewer strands that you use, the more like machine stitching it looks. So I will run through the colors. We have them all available, or will have them up in that add-on section, and they're all numbered. So we've got SC32, which is the teal blue. We have SC25, which is the green. We've got SC41, which is the yellow. SC14, which is the red. And then there's 2 corals, a light and a dark, and one is SC11 and one is SC15. So those are the 6 colors that I used. And as you can see, they match the layout perfectly. I just love that, that we've got floss that matches the stuff that we're doing. So you can buy yourself a little skein of that and then you will have it to do your stitching. There is, if you really like stitching, there's also a pack that includes a bunch of colors, all of these right here, all of these colors of floss, including the ones that I just showed you. So if you want to pick up this instead, this gives you just a wide variety of floss colors, which is amazing. But if you look at all the variety of purples, and it goes into the pinks and then to the oranges and reds, yellows, greens, blues, tans, white, your neutrals, and then your black and gray. So you've got a lot of variety of color here, which is really great if you like to stitch, because then you'll just be able to pull this out and match it up to whatever you're working on and stitch away. So that is available as well. So the pack does include the colors that I just listed individually, and then we also have the individual colors as well. So either way, the floss is available for purchase, and you can grab that. And then I also did over here, I did stitching on this side as well. So I pulled some of that plaid paper over, and I did just a few rows of stitching on those wider bars of color just to tie in the second page. So it is a great little thing to add to your pages. If you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend. And then we talked about the craft cardstock being an add-on as well. Okay, so now as far as stamps and dies, I did use a couple of different sets. So you'll notice on this side, you'll see these phrases like delightful days, filled with joy, perfect moments. And then over here, we've got making memories and a day to remember. So that is a Better Press plate, and it is from Spellbinders, and it is called Happiness Sentiments. So you get the plate that you can use in your Better Press machine to stamp it out, and then you get the die to cut them all out. Now, I have some in here that are cut in a cardstock color. I wasn't sure at first I wanted to have white words on my page, so I did them in a color, and then I decided I didn't like them, but you can see kind of what they look like. So when you cut them out, this is what they look like, which I just love. And they are phrased. They're not sentiments for cards per se. You could use them on cards, but they're actually designed to go on layouts. It's part of their, I forget what they call it, storybook series or something, which is super cool. I love, they have lots of different themes, and these are the happiness ones. And I thought that they worked really, really well for this layout, and then I know for sure other layouts as well. So I cut some of them out on white, I stamped them in black, cut them out, and then I just incorporated them with my clusters. They would be very similar to word strips that you might get on a sticker sheet. Simple Stories is really great about having word strips. Echo Park, not so much. They don't tend to have the word strips, and I really like adding those. And this way, with a sticker sheet, when you use them, they're gone. Like you have to buy another sticker sheet if you want to get them. This way, you can stamp and cut these out as many times as you want and use them as often as you want on your layouts, and you never run out. You just make more. And that's the great thing about using stamps and dies and things like that onto your layouts, because ephemera packs get used up and then you have to buy more. This way, you make your own, you customize it to whatever color combination you want, and it works great. And in all honesty, throughout an entire year of scrapbooking, you're not going to notice if you use Filled with Joy more than once on a page. You'll probably be very grateful that you have it. So, and Making Memories and A Day to Remember. Like, I just feel like there's so many times when I would use a phrase like that. And you can switch up the way that it looks by choosing a different color cardstock, or, stamping it in colored ink versus black ink. There's lots of ways to make it, make it work. And you can also cut them apart too. So like if you just want to have the word remember, you can do that. Or just even the word joy. Like you can just, snip off the rest of it and then be able to use just those words. So there's tons and tons of potential with this. And it is a Better Press plate. So you have the option to foil as well. So if you ever want to foil your sayings, you can do that too. And then the stamp set that I used contains all of these adorable mice and the leaves, and that is what we need. A Better Press plate though. You don't need this is actually a Better Press plate right here. You need the Better Press platform to run through either your Big Shot or your Platinum 6 Spellbinders machine. Now, some people say, well, I don't want another machine. It's not a machine, it is a platform. And it is no different than purchasing a MISTI in order to do your stamping. This is your MISTI for Better Press plates. Better Press plates are not going away. They are going to become bigger and bigger and more plentiful, and you are going to see me using them frequently throughout the course of my card making and scrapbooking. So don't think of it as a machine, because it's not a machine. The machine you need is either a Big Shot or a Platinum 6, and most of us already have that. This is just a stamping platform for Better Press plates. So that is what it is. And so basically that will help you transfer the ink from the plate onto your paper through your Big Shot. So it's your plate configuration or your MISTI per se to get your stamping done. You buy it once and it lasts forever. And again, when it first came out, I was a little hesitant to bring it into our store and try to sell it to our customers because I thought, I don't know how much product there will be to support this platform. But it is so popular and other manufacturers are jumping on board as well. And you're going to see designs that you want that you won't be able to use because you don't have the platform to stamp them. So seriously consider a Better Press machine. It is, no, I shouldn't say a Better Press platform because it is seriously an amazing option. And then if you don't have a Better Press and you're not even interested in the stamping part, if you have a Glimmer machine, you can foil all of this as well. And if you're thinking of getting into this whole system, these plates are dual purpose. You can stamp and you can foil. So lots of versatility and really great options. So that is the Better Press plate that I used. And then the stamp set I used is called You Autumn Know from Lawn Fawn. It's not a new set. It's older. Now, we do have them en route to us. They have a new release coming out on Thursday, and I believe, and I will get confirmation from Lawn Fawn later today, but I believe they combined my shipment with that new release shipment, and so it should be here this week. But we do have it up in pre-order status for you. But it's not a new set, so we didn't order tons and tons of them. Because first of all, not everybody wants to add stamps and dies to their layouts. And second of all, you may already own it. So if we have underestimated, we will definitely be ordering more. So don't panic. But yes, this is the very, very cute set. It contains the lots of leaves and then these 4 adorable mice that you can build scenes with that just really enhance the layout. So when I created my page, the stencil was not available for this yet, but now it is. So I've just tucked my stencil in. I just got it. So I colored my images using Olo markers, which I will run through the colors. But now there is a stencil available, and I guarantee you if the stencil had been available when I did my layout, I would have definitely gone this route just because I love to stencil. But it's really nice because you get both options. So when we, in the pre-order section, you can buy just the stamp and die together. And then you can use whatever color medium you want. But most of them are available as stamp die stencil. People love options. They love to be able to decide, do I want a stencil? Do I want a color? And that's what this will give you. So, so we do have it available for pre-order in both. So that is the set. And I'll just point out, so you can see here this bundle of leaves and this mouse and these leaves. So that's part of the set. These leaves here are part of the set. This large leaf with the mouse flying down on it is part of the set. And then these 2 mice and these leaves here are also part of that set. So you can see how I've added them into the clusters that I did on my page. It just sort of fills them up and really makes it fun to look at. Like you've got this little mouse here jumping in the leaves and he's got them in his hand. This is my favorite little guy here, this large leaf, and he's sitting on there. So it's just imagine it like floating down from a tree and you've got this little mouse sitting on there. And then these guys here are holding onto the leaf and they're flying through the wind. So that is where I added those in. I didn't add any on this side, but you certainly could add the mice and leaves over here as well. I stuck more or less to the stickers that were left over. Now, should you decide that you don't want to do the stamp and die thing, there are leaves available on the sticker sheet that you could pull over here and kind of fill in. But if you're planning on doing both, again, I used a bunch of leaves and things over on this side as well. So you'd have to sort of decide where you want to place those and how you want to make it work. But it is a lot of fun to bring those things over into the scrapbooking side of things for sure. All right, so then on this side of the page, you'll notice that I did some ink blending in the background here. So that is done with Concord and Ninth inks. And I chose 4 colors. So we used Stardust, Cranberry, Artichoke, and Peacock. I didn't swatch out other ink brands, but if you don't have Concord and Ninth inks, I'm sure there are colors that are similar in other ink brands. We did put these colors up in the add-on section. And again, there's not one there for everybody. Definitely not. Lots of people have ink. So if they do sell out and you want these colors, you have to let us know. Otherwise, we'll just reorder the same regular amounts that we order with our regular shipments, and they'll be restocked when the orders come in. But if you don't speak up and tell us that you want these colors, then they might sell out right out from underneath of you, even on the restock. So at least that way you'll be notified. But I'm sure that if you look through your ink brands that you have at home, even if you don't have the colors, there are probably colors that are very similar in those that you can pick up as well. So that's the colors that we use for that. And then I will talk about the Olo markers that I used and what color combinations. So I used ORs, which are orange reds, and I used OR 1.3, which is here, OR 1.3, and OR 1.6. Now, I'm not going to go through and tell you everywhere that I use those colors, and I'm not going to do a coloring demo per se, but the oranges, which are the colors that look like this, are the ones where I use this combination. So 1.3 and 1.6. And obviously the darker areas are the darker color and the lighter areas are the lighter color. Now, when I color, I like to lay down my darkest color first. So that would be in the darker areas. And then I come in with my lighter color and I blend that out and fill in the rest of the leaf. And like Shelby just said, the colors that I used are included in the add-on section as well. So you will see them there. So that's my orange combination. And then my yellow, I used a yellow orange. So that is the YO 2.5. I just have to pull them out of my container here. Hang on, 2.5, 2.3, and 2.2. Okay, so that is this combination here. So that's this, this yellow orange color. So again, darkest, medium, and light. So you just sort of blend those out. And then we have a light orange, which is really like the browns. It is 4.1, 4.3, and 4.6. So there's 4.1, 4.3, and 4.6. So although they are oranges in the orange family, they are actually the browns, and that is for the brown mice. Okay, so I've got brown mice and I've got gray mice. So 4.1, 4.3, and 4.6. And then for the grays, I used C0, C1, and C3. So there's C0, C1, and C3. So you can see all of those in that section. And then I also highly recommend a 0 marker as well, just because if you happen to go outside the lines a little bit, this is a great way to push the color back in. And I definitely have to use that from time to time. So those are the Olo markers, and they are all listed in the add-on section as well. Okay, so that is that part. And now what I will do is go through the measurements and what I did. Okay, so from the avocado cardstock, so you get a full sheet of the avocado cardstock in your bundle, and that is used for the background of the layout portion. But if you want to cut out a piece for matting your photo, you're going to have to cut the center out of the cardstock. And you do that by leaving a 1-inch border. So I'm going to actually go ahead and do that just in case you don't know how to. I usually use a guillotine trimmer when I do my cutting, but when I do this technique, I have to pull out the old-fashioned blade trimmer. So I'm just going to remove the barcode here before we get started. And then I will show you how I do that. Okay, so on my trimmer, I have measurements on the right side of the cutting line. So I can put the edge of my paper on the 1-inch mark, and then I can start my blade 1 inch down from the edge and stop it 1 inch from the edge down here. If you don't have cutting measurements on the right side, all you're going to do is on this end, a full sheet of paper is 12 inches. You're going to move it back until you get to the 11-inch mark right here, and that will have your paper hang over 1 inch on this side. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. But basically, you're going to start your blade 1 inch down from the edge, and stop it 1 inch from the edge here. And I just use the measurements on my ruler here to tell me where to stop and start. And then you're going to rotate it a quarter turn and do the same thing again. So really what you want to do is have these cut lines that you stop and start at intersect without cutting all the way through. Now, if they don't intersect perfectly, don't worry. You can snip them out because you're not going to see this intersection at all because that's going to be covered up with a sheet of paper and you won't notice it. So if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. The idea with this technique is that you're cutting out that middle portion of your cardstock so that you're able to use it. Otherwise, it's just getting cut up and, you know, it's kind of a waste of paper. But here, all of this is usable paper now, and you have this border. So this is what you would cut your matting out of for your photo. I'm just going to get rid of my trimmer here. So this piece here is this right here. So, and then what we're going to do is take our white cardstock, which I'm going to dig out here somewhere. This always happens to me. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this piece, this white piece, will then rest on top of here once we trim it down, and it'll cover up that hole so you won't see it. Okay, so cut a 1 inch border all the way around for your avocado, and if you want to use this for the matting, you can. And the measurement for that matting, I'm just going to bring over my little cheat note so that you can have this here. So you cut the center out, leaving a 1 inch border if you want to use as a photo mat, and the photo mat measures 4.5 by 6.5. So this is a 4 by 6 photo right here. So there's a craft mat and then the green one, the avocado one. So the avocado one measures 4.5 by 6.5, and you could easily get that out of here. Okay, so that is what we do with the avocado cardstock. And then next up we have our white cardstock, and you're going to cut that so it measures 11 inches by 11 inches. And that is going to nest over top of that avocado border piece that you did, leaving a nice green border all the way around. And then what you're going to do is, if you are splattering, once you cut your cardstock down, you want to splatter it with the gold. And just sort of splatter it all over. Now, keeping in mind that in here is where the plaid paper is going to be. So all of this is going to be covered up. So you definitely want to make sure you get splatter around the outside edges. Don't splatter just in the middle, and then when you go to put that piece of plaid on there, you're like, well, I just covered up all of my splatter. Just make sure you're getting some splatter out towards the edge. You don't want it heavy. It just sort of, you know, just a nice misting type of splatter all the way around your page. So that's what you're going to do with the white. And then the plaid paper, it's beautiful, beautiful paper. So on the one side, it's the 4x4 cut aparts, but we didn't use any of this. We were focusing a lot on this plaid paper. So what you're going to do is cut a piece of the plaid that measures 8.25 inches across and 7 inches up and down. Now, when I cut the paper, I was being very mindful of the placement on either side at the edges of this last bar of color. You kind of want to have a little bit of white on each side of the last bar of color. So on this particular one, mine ended up being the blue. I wanted a little bit of white on the edge there, and then over here, it's the light coral, and then I have white on the edge over here. So just be kind of mindful on how you're cutting your paper and where the blade is actually going to cut, just so that you have nice even bars across the page, so when you do your stitching, it looks really nice. Okay, so again, I'll go over those measurements. You want it to be 8.25 across and 7 inches up and down. And you can trim a little bit for that. The only other piece you need out of this is for the calendar side, which is right here. This little piece right here. And that measures 2.25 this way and 4 1/8 this way. So you've got lots and lots of paper. But just be mindful that you need those two pieces out if you're doing both pages, okay? And then you're going to add your stitching. Once you get those pieces in place, you're going to add your stitching. So on the layout, it's centered basically in the middle of the layout. Now I'm just going to measure for sure. It might be down just a touch. more than it is up. But I gotta find my ruler. Here it is. Okay, so from the white, it's a little over 2.5, no, a little under 2.5 inches. And this, yes. So it's definitely a little more space here than at the bottom. So come down about 2.5 inches, maybe just a little less. And that's where that top edge is going to sit. Okay, so it is down just a bit more than it is up. So that is the plaid paper. I'm just going to pull both layouts in here because now I'm going to talk about, I talked about the craft cardstock right there. So that's an optional piece. If you don't have craft cardstock, you want to pick that up, and you're going to cut that piece to measure 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So that's 1/4 inch larger than your actual photo. Okay. And then you'll have 2 mats that go underneath that piece. And now we're going to talk about sticker placement. So I'll put the sticker sheet here for now, and we'll talk about the layout side. So I'll do this cluster first. So a season of change is this sticker right here. This nice large title. And then the tan tree, which is right here. And the apple bucket, which is right over here. And then there is an acorn sticker right here, which is right there. And then there is a blue heart. Now the blue hearts come from this border strip right here. So in each one of these little arches, there's a little heart sticker. I'll hold it up and see if you can see it. I don't want to pop it out. This is Amanda's, so I don't want to lose them. But you can see that there's little heart stickers in each of those scallops. So you'll use a few of those. So that's where that little blue sticker came from. And then over here, this sunflower cluster is the one with the little red sprigs in it. This one has blue, so that's not it. Let me find it. It's right here. So this is the one with the little red sprigs in it. And then the word cozy. And then another blue heart. So you get that from the scallop border down here at the bottom. And then this one here, this is another sunflower cluster, but this time we're going to use the one with the blue. The word family, which is right here, and then another blue heart. And then down here, we've got the sweater weather title, which is right here. And then there is a small sunflower cluster with a pine cone. So that one is right here. And then the leaf branch that has the tan leaves, which is right here. So that's all of the stickers that I used on this side. The rest is filled in with those stamps and dies. So the mice and the leaves up here, and then the word strips from that Better Press plate. And that's what kind of fills in the rest of it. And then I'm just going to flip to the other side. Just slide this over a bit. And for this side of the paper, this sunflower cluster here is the one with the 2 orange flowers. And that's the one that's right here. And then there is a red maple leaf sticker, which is floating around here somewhere. Let's see if we can locate right here. And then there's another blue heart from the border at the bottom here. And then this one here, it's the orange flower with the green leaves, and that is right there. And the word bliss, which is up at the top here. And then right here, we've got 2 different mushrooms. So we've got a red mushroom and an orange mushroom. So there's the orange one and there's the red one. And then we've also got a sprig of leaves that are orange, and that is located right at the top here. And then we've got the orange maple leaf and another blue heart. And then you just use some of the smaller leaves in these sections right here. So that kind of shows you where all of the stickers that I used are placed. There are extra stickers that I didn't use as well. So you can definitely add those in and create little clusters with those if you need to. And then you all also will notice that I did do a little bit of stamping on my layout as well. Words like whoosh and like the flight pattern for leaves. On this side, I just did the word whoosh over and over again with that. On this side of the layout, I have words like yippee, wee, and yay. And there's also a couple of little hearts. So I did pull in a couple little stamp sets. I went through my stash, and I encourage you to do this because if you're like me, you've got lots of stamp sets, but you don't use half of what's on them. And if you go looking, all of a sudden you're like, oh, that would work. Oh, that would work. Oh, I could use that. So the flight pattern did come from the You Autumn Know from the mouse. So you can see I've got a large little swirl here, which is the one that I use here. And then the smaller ones I used on the other page. And I'm not sure where I got the heart from. Oh, it's from this one here. It's from the Whoosh Kites. So there's a little heart, an open heart stamp. So I used that in a couple of spots as well. And on this one, did I use any words? Oh yeah, that's where I got the word whoosh. So that's the one that I used on my calendar page. And on this one, this is Carrot About You. And I used the word yay and we and what's the other word I used? Yippee. Where did I get yippee from? I don't know where I got yippee from. It's not on these. So it must have had another one out because Lawn Fawn is famous for having all of these really cute little sayings. So yeah, yippee's not on here. I'm not sure where I got that one from. So I found it somewhere. I'm sure it's a Lawn Fawn set where I used the yippee phrase there. So just kind of look through your stash and see what you can find because there's lots of little sentiments that you have on your sets that, you know, have one word on them or something, and they might work out. You might even find that a lot of your photos are fall looking, and maybe you can find some fall words that that will fit into place as well, or even just some words from love sets. Like if it's a lot of family photos, you can use the word love, you can use the word joy, you can use the word family. Like there's lots of different things that you can use. So definitely search your stash for little words like that. Okay, I think I covered everything. Yes. Does anyone have any questions that they would like covered before I sign off? Just a reminder, the bundles are going to go up as soon as we end the live. Shelby's probably working on that now. There might be a bit of a delay. You might have to refresh your screen. She's going to be getting all those orders pulled today. Watch your ready for pickup emails, but should be ready to go tomorrow. We're not actually open today, so it makes it much easier to focus on this kind of thing. We tend to time these releases so that we do have time to get the layouts and everything pulled. So if nobody has any questions, that is going to be it for me on here today. I will be back tomorrow morning with another live. I've got a bunch of new product here to share and some fun stuff. We do have a lot going on this week. This Saturday is our in-person shopping event. So this is our last Saturday to shop before Christmas in person. So if you find it difficult to get to our store during the week, this is your opportunity. You'll definitely want to put that into your calendar. Okay, maybe you already said the color on the calendar side. Oh, yes, I was going to show that part. Thank you for reminding me, Colleen. I will show that. I'm going to demo that. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'll demo that. But yes, in-person Saturday. And you know, when we do these in-person events, we always entice you with a little bit of a giveaway, and we definitely will have that. But we are not announcing it until Thursday night. So keep an eye on your socials. We also have another promotion going on this week as well. So I'm not going to say what it is, but watch your emails. And I'm going to remind everybody too that the emails go out with date parameters. So you need to be following those date parameters. If the promotion runs, let's say Tuesday to Thursday, your purchases need to be made within that time period. If you purchase the day before or the day after, that's on you. You have to go within the parameters of our promotions. We run lots of different promotions, and you have control over when you order, okay? So you can wait. None of the calendar stuff will apply. But if you wait, you may miss out on things that are in stock now that may not be in stock when you go to order for a promotion. So that is up to you. Lots and lots and lots of companies run this type of promotion, and it works very well, and we are going to continue doing that. But you do need to be mindful that you do have to be within the parameters of the promotion. Okay, so thank you, Colleen, for reminding me. I'm going to pull out my trimmer and trim this down. So the white is going to be, I'm not trimming that down. It's calendar page I'm doing. Sorry. Where's my calendar sheet? Here it is. Okay. I can get rid of the barcode later. So the four colors of ink that I used are from Concord and Ninth. See, I even pulled this out. So there are the four colors. I think they go very well with the colors in this plaid. They're going to go on a little lighter than you see, but you can get them to go darker if you want to, just by building up your ink. And I basically divided the calendar page into 4 quadrants. Okay, so we have like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ink blend in these areas. And I'm glad that Colleen brought this up because it gives me the opportunity to brag about my favorite brushes. Because they're really, really wonderful. These Pink Fresh 1-inch blending brushes are my new favorite. They are absolutely amazing to blend larger areas with. The ink goes on like butter. You get no marks for your brushes on the surface, and it's just truly wonderful. Now, trying to open the box. I store mine in the box that they came in. Now, unlike other brushes, the pile is quite long. So that's what gives you that really beautiful blending opportunity. I use one brush for each color family. So this is my green brush. And this is the brush that I'll use for most of my green inks. Now, you want to make sure that there's no ink on here. I have a loose bristle. I'm just going to trim that off. You want to make sure that you get any existing color on here off of the brush before you pick up another color. And it is a little trickier to do with these because they're really soft and it's hard to get a lot of pressure on them. Oh, Shelby just reminded me, these brushes are on pre-order right now. We are waiting for our shipment to arrive, which should be very soon. But I just like to take the brush and sort of brush off any color residue that might be on there from another color family that I used. So, according to my diagram here, this is where I'm going to be doing the green. All right, so I'm just going to take my ink stand because I don't like to chase my ink pad all over the desk. And I'm just going to focus kind of in the this quadrant of 6 right here. So I've kind of divided it up into 4 sections. My plaid paper is kind of going over here. And if you ink blend over into that area, it's not a big deal. But what I want to do, I still brush off, but I just want to kind of keep the ink to there. So I'm going to, with a light hand, just start going in. Now you can see right away, see how much ink coverage I got? And no brush marks, 0. It just blends on like butter. It's so smooth and even. Kind of blows my mind. So that's my green section. And I'm just doing kind of just a light block of color, just so that just it adds a little bit of detail behind the photos. And if I'm really good, I try to brush off the ink before I even put my brush away so that it's ready for the next application. But I'm not always really good. So I'm just trying to get some of that green ink off there. And then the next one down here is going to be the cranberry, which is my red. So I do have this brush started with sort of pinks and reds. So I'm just going to quickly brush this off. And now I'm going to kind of come down here. So I'm going to kind of go 2, 4, 6, kind of this area here. It's going to look like Christmas. And this is red ink. Red is often very nasty. It tends to really blob on. But look how amazing that blends. And you can make this as dark as you want, but you're not going to get instant dark color. It's color you need to build up. So I could keep going over this over and over and over and just build up that color. But I'm going for sort of a lighter backdrop. I don't want it to overpower my photos. So you'll notice, look at all that red ink that's kind of coming off on there. So you just have to kind of swirl it around for a minute or two. And I like to do the microfiber cloths because they have fibers in them that just sort of grab the bristles and pull that color out. So it works really nicely. Next up, we're going with Peacock. So I'm going to need my blue brush. And that is going to be over in this area here. And it's a bit of a larger cluster for me because I have more photos. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of go like across and up. So kind of in this area here. See how beautiful they blend? And it's effortless. It's very soft and even. And I know sometimes on the screen, my ink looks a little blotchy, but it's never blotchy in person. It's very, very smooth and even. So again, I'm kind of leaving this area open for that plaid strip I'm putting in there. Okay, and then the last one is the Stardust, which is my yellow. And that's going to kind of fill in up here. And I'm just going to pull out my yellow brush here, and I'm just going to brush off any color that might be on there. And now I'm going to kind of just do like these three sections here. I'm running out of desk space. And it just kind of creates this soft backdrop. And that way when you put your photos on, you're not just putting them on a plain white backdrop. It does look quite nice. So I'm going to just put this off to the side here, and I will show you the real layout against this one. So you can see now when you cluster your photos, it's just going to kind of cover up that yellow section, a little bit into the blue. And then this section here is just kind of those photos, and these two here, and then the top ones here. And then that leaves this section kind of right in here for your plaid paper. So that's kind of the look that you're going for. And again, thank you for Colleen for shouting that out, because I kind of forgot I wanted to blend. I had everything sitting here. I get talking and I forget. So that is how that side works. Anything else that I missed or you wanted covered that I should know about? No? Okay. So here are the 1-inch brushes. They come 3 to a pack, and they are spectacular. You will see me using them often. For larger areas. And then cleanup is super easy. You just spray down your glass mat with alcohol and wipe it up, and you are done. Okay, I think that's it. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with another live. Got some new product to show and a few other little things. I think I'll do a giveaway as well. So definitely watch for that. I will post later on today exactly what time I'll be doing that. But I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, have a great day.